Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of the USA Volleyball Show. In case you forgot, we are the official podcast of USA Volleyball. Steve Iron, I know you got a whisper over there, but how's it going?
Yeah, I can't get too loud. My son is sleeping in the next room, but and sleep is very important these days. It's pretty rare. He actually does really good with napping, but nighttime sleep is pretty tough. But we're still doing the episode. We got this. I'm doing great. I've had a great last couple weekends. I feel like fall is here, like the fall weather, at least in the morning.
The weather shifting a little bit.
Yeah, weather shifting. There's a little bit of bite in the air. I like it. Yeah, no, it's good. We got pumpkins on our doorstep, so
nice.
Yeah, it's feeling like fall, and it might be my favorite time of the year. I don't know. I think that's still up for debate for myself, but I really like the weather, especially just after a hot summer.
Yeah, it's like a toss up between fall and summer for me. I mean, just kind of depending on the activities that we're doing. I mean, I can even throw winter in there, given like I have everything I need for the snow, so I don't have to go outside in the snow. I can just kind of look outside and not have to worry about the cold. But yeah, really, really, really good time of season.
We did just get a massive bag of candy for Halloween and to prepare, for trick-or-treaters. And there's no way that's lasting till Halloween. We're going to have to go back and get another bag.
I'll send my 17s to your door.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I feel like they do it too. But yeah, I mean, what else is new? What's going on?
Oh man, not a whole lot. Just trying to gear up for the end of the year here. I know we got events, starting to open up with registration.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of messaging going out on social media for that and preparing for that. So definitely still busy, but exciting to kind of wrap up the year. I was gonna say it's a little bit of a slower time as far as just like traveling and stuff, but it's not really that slow. There's a lot going on.
It slows down, but it never really slows down, I guess.
Yeah,
it's in a sense. But yeah, I mean, same here. I mean, again, like I'll talk about a little bit later on. But we opened up Salt Lake, obviously day recording, Monday, October 14th. Opened up Salt Lake City with weekend 2 registration, and again, seeing record numbers in both weekends, which is great. But we ran into a little bit of a hiccup with AES. I don't know if it was a glitch. I don't know, whatever it was, but all of our 13 divisions basically went up in flames, aka a little bit of chaos based off of who was able to visibly see. But connected with AES, got it fixed, and got everything updated. 80 something emails later in our inbox. Off of that alone, we're good to go. Everything is good. Nobody panicked. Nothing's on fire anymore. And we are in registration season, baby. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be registration season without a few hiccups here and there, right? But it sounds like it was a minor one at least.
I'd love it with no hiccups too, because yeah. But other than that, everything is smooth sailing now.
Great to hear the numbers are up too.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about those towards the end, but they are good, but also a lot of teams this year for all these qualifiers. But
I'm excited.
Yeah. Other than that, just coaching. I mean, my boys team wrapped up a seeding tournament last weekend.
Oh, sweet.
Did pretty good. Obviously, a lot of room for development, a lot of room for improvement too, as far as what they're seeing, especially going into their first power this Saturday coming up too. So busy weekend, and then my girls team starts practice beginning of November, so that'll be a lot of fun. The Edge 14 Erica going to be assistant on that one too. First time coaching 14, so that'll be a lot of fun. Her the team has a lot of talent, so yeah, just expecting that. And then high school season, we are 10-5, baby. Already got as we had.
Nice, congratulations, that's awesome.
I still wish Woodland Park was one of those wins, but it's not. Cassie, we'll get you next year. But other than that, yeah, I mean, we already got as many wins as we got last year. So I mean,
that's awesome.
I'm very tough on my team, but they understand the why, and they understand the intent behind it, and they don't realize how much they're growing with the sport of just the volleyball and the sport of the volleyball, with the sport within our own league and the impact that they're making. So right now, if all keeps going well, there's a really good shot that we qualify for the regional tournament for the first time ever. Fingers crossed there. But other than that, just keeping it rolling. Got 2 games this week. Our C team's got a tournament this Saturday. And we're just rolling. We're just rolling with volleyball.
Glad to hear you're not putting down the coaching clipboard anytime soon. Sounds like you got a lot coming up in your.
At least for this season, no.
You're wearing a lot of coaching hats. I love it. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's as I'm driving from location, I'm like, man, this was a lot. I need some time off. But anyways,
then you step on the court with them, and it's all worth it to see them play. I'm sure.
Absolutely, it is too. So I can't wait. Already got flights bought up for tournaments and all that stuff for travel. I haven't even got USC volleyball flights yet, so I'm just rolling. Yeah, rolling and seeing what we're gonna go do with things. What we are going to do with things there. If I can speak properly. But yeah, enough of that. Coaching is coaching, and we're doing some good things there.
Well, that's awesome to hear, and yeah, glad to hear your teams are doing well, and good luck to your teams too. Excited to hear your high school team is doing well, and I'm sure that's really cool for you to see that progression from year to year. So that's awesome. Congratulations to your teams, and congratulations to you, Coach Clarence. You're doing great.
It feels so weird to be called that, but all right.
Oh, really quick. Yeah. Are you Coach Clarence or Coach Hughes or Coach?
For club, they just call me Clarence. It's fine. But for high school, they do call me Coach Hughes, which is very funny because I've had some girls that I've coached for club too, and they go like Clarence, whatever. Like it's funny, but yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to it all. But
yeah, I could just see you like rolling over the whiteboard like first day of practice, writing your name on it, like teachers do on their first day.
I don't even do that. It's just all right. Look, these are our groups. So receive. You're getting statted right now. Don't ask me any questions. Let's go. But yeah.
I run into some of my old players here and there sometimes, and they still call me coach. And they're full grown adults now. It's a little weird, but I like it.
Steve I now.
All right. Well, yeah. Enough with the intro there. Glad to hear again that everything's going well in your world, and exciting to see the event numbers up, and excited to hear you talk about it a little bit later as well. But let's dive into the episode. Before we get into it. If you haven't already listened to our last episode 102 with 2024 U19 Beach World Champions Lily Davis and Mariah Massey, it was a great conversation with both of them. They chat about competing in the Beach World Championship, how they were introduced to the game, their favorite club memories, and so much more in that episode. And last episode, I don't know if you caught it, but we forgot to mention episode 101, a huge episode with none other than Matt Anderson. We caught up with him following Paris, and before he left to go play overseas as well, he got some great and much needed family time that he was able to get there before he headed overseas in Turkey. But another great episode there, 101 and 102. Check out both of those episodes on all podcast platforms, and you can watch them on our YouTube or website as well. Before we get into the news with Hughes, what were you laughing about?
We're doing great. That's all.
Did I mess something up?
No, you did. I'm just laughing that we forgot that.
Oh, yeah. Hey, 100 episodes in, we still miss things every now and then.
It wouldn't be a podcast without it. See, I'm stuttering right now as we speak. So
we're authentic. We're authentic that way.
Leave it in.
Now it's time for news with Hughes.
All right, one take. Here we go, Paul. I'm just kidding. All right. Congratulations to Zolani Hodel and Alexis Durish, who won gold at their 5th stop of the 2024 Norseka Beach Volleyball Tour. Molly Phillips and Mariah Whalen won the bronze medal at the same event. A big congratulations to Ella Connor and Izzy Martinez for winning gold in the women's bracket, and congratulations to Carson Barnes and Aiden Keeter for winning gold in the men's bracket at the 2024 U23 Punta Cana. I'm going to love reading this one right here too. Do you want to be able to text us? You guys, I'm going to say that one more time and ask you that. Do you want to be able to text us? Well, now you can. Under each episode description, you can click on text us and send us a direct message. Let us know if you liked an episode or if you have a specific question relating an athlete or a certain topic. We would love to hear from you. Get those messages going. Test it out right now because I'm very excited to see how those come through. Follow along all of the action on USA Volleyball social media. And for more on all of the latest news, make sure you visit usavolleyball.org. Now, back to Stephen.
On today's episode, we sit down with two-time Olympic medalist and U.S. women's national team middle blocker and best middle blocker from the Paris Olympic Games, Chiaka Ogbogu. Chiaka talks about her Olympic experience, kind of reflects on, finally finds some time to reflect on winning that silver medal, and talks about how she was introduced to the game, her blossoming modeling career, I would say, and so much more. But let's get right into it. Here's the conversation. Here is Chi. Chiaka, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us. I'm really excited to catch up with you. I haven't seen you since Paris, but it's been a whirlwind of events for you since then, so I'm excited to hear about it. But before we get into it, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I know, I can't believe it's been that long.
It feels like just yesterday, but also like a long time ago.
A year ago. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah, well, I mean, catch us up. You're on the podium getting the silver medal, and then it's just off to the races on a huge media tour. I guess staying in Paris, has that settled in at all for you? You're a two-time Olympic medalist. How does that feel for you right now?
Yeah. I still feel like, honestly, I haven't been able to catch my breath, but in all the best ways. I think to your point, standing on the podium and then the next 48 hours, as you know, happened so quickly. So I'm sure this off season that I've been on that has been incredible is over, like it'll start to settle a little bit, but now it just feels like I'm still kind of riding that wave of the Olympics. Obviously, like when the more you see like family and friends that you haven't seen in a while, that's the first topic that comes up. So for me, it doesn't really feel like it's ended. It just feels like an extension of it, kind of. But I'm sure it'll hit me soon where I'm like, okay, I need to fully process all that was Paris because it was incredible in so many different ways.
Yeah, I mean, you were. Oh, go ahead, Clarence.
No, go ahead. I'll go after you.
I was going to say, aside from the medal, too, you were awarded best middle blocker as well. And then on the men's side, Taylor Averill, best middle blocker, too. Clarence is a middle blocker. Middle blocker's on top of the world right now. Clarence is happy. All our middle blocker listeners are happy. But I guess for you, I know for a lot of athletes, personal awards are neither here nor there. But is that validating at all for you? Is that any more meaningful to you to get that recognition, that honor?
Oh, I mean, first shout out to Taylor. It was so much fun to watch him play. And just how the schedule worked out, like they would play like essentially on our off days and all of us would watch and support our guys, but especially the middle group on the women's side, we became really close this summer. So we would always watch and support the men's side middles, but it was really inspiring to watch. And I even told him right before our last game, I'm like, we really just want to feed off whatever you ate this week or like whatever energy you've been having.
I think that's everyone watching, all the fans back home. Yeah, seriously.
I think it's just natural. It's he just wakes up. That's it.
Right. Which is theory, but but really, it was just like watching our guys compete so hard. And obviously, like, I think both sides, we've had like kind of an up and down quad. So just to see them show up and perform the way they did inspired us and me specifically. And then also, I mean, the award it's cool and it's nice and all of that stuff. But to your point, I think our middle group, the one I spoke about, worked extremely hard this summer. And we took a lot of things personally. I don't think we were where we wanted to be at the beginning of the summer or this quad really as like a block and defense team. And as a middle, I feel like you only have so many jobs. So if the team isn't doing well or as well as it could be blocking, like we took offense to that. So Myself, Haley, Dana, all the other younger middles that were involved, and Alfie and Marv Dempsey really worked on like a strong block and defense plan, stayed after a lot of practices. So really it's just a credit to them and all the work that they put in as well. And that's what it felt like. It felt like we were just sharing that award because Lord knows how many meetings the middles had together before and after games. So it was really cool to see at least that part highlighted in some way.
I mean, from what you said, like, we can't even tell that, like, that's just been a really, like, a focal point of that. Like, you guys have always been just a really strong group, a really strong core. Like, I think something that really stands out from watching even both teams, men's and women's national team is, just the consistency of middles and how involved you all are on the offensive side of things, and even on defense as well, of course. But yeah, you would never have guessed that. You're taking it personally, taking it to heart, but it definitely shows for sure. So yeah, we've been seeing y'all for a while and appreciate the hard work that, middle blockers put in.
Someone has to, middles don't get a lot of love out here. So it felt like it was a really good summer for all middles involved. So it was really cool to be on the receiving end of that.
But like talking about, you and Taylor and how you got a chance to really support each other throughout the course of the game. Did you guys spend time with each other, or just, both teams together and explore Paris at all, or do anything off the court together?
It was kind of hard just because of our conflicting schedules. Like, we would play essentially on like their rest days. Or they would play on ours, but we would see each other in passing at the training center. And then obviously we were all in the same building, so we would see each other in passing then. And we would have moments like in between that to just catch up and talk about the last game. But yeah, it was actually funny. He was on the press tour. A lot of us did, him and Matt. So we all got to hang out then. And we have, like, I think a really cool relationship with a lot of the men's player. We respect them a lot. And I hope they respect us as well. So it's really fun to just kind of like exchange experiences, knowing that like we're all kind of like dealing with the same thing. So it's really nice to have like another group of people who are not necessarily like in our team to kind of like bounce things off of.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. And I was the men's press officer, so I mostly saw it from that side. But, when they're in the weight room, there's TVs in there with all those, Olympic sports on, and they'd be watching the women's matches, they'd be watching beach matches. So it was really cool to see that team culture, across teams too, at the Olympic Games. And then even before our media day back in Anaheim, like before Paris, the men's indoor and women's indoor got together and played a little, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Bagarone. Yeah. Okay. Played that little scrimmage type thing against each other. And that was so fun to watch. Very competitive, but I could tell that you guys were just having fun with each other as you guys kind of geared up for Paris. That was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of trash talking involved.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
And there's a section, so it's a drill for like the ball control players of the gym. So they like to, well, I don't even think they like to. I think we brought this up 2 years ago. We should have like a middle section that the middles and opposites get to like join in on the fun, because normally when you have ball control drills and there's like a hierarchy of people that they pick, the middles and opposites are last to be picked, which is really shady, but So we had our own little section. The guys won this time. I think for the first time in the last 3 years we've been playing this. So we'll let them pick. So I think 2-1 in the series. So we'll see as years go on how that score like ends up.
I love that. We're gonna have to have Severin track that series.
Exactly.
As you guys do that.
Documented for sure.
Yes, historical purposes. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you kind of touched on the media tour, but even before that, I kind of want to, staying in Paris, this was your first like full experience for the Olympic Games, getting the fans there, getting your family even there, to watch you play on the biggest stage in sports. I guess overall, just what was your experience like in Paris? And then, any core memories kind of stick out to you as you kind of reflect on that?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I underestimated, honestly, how special it would be to have family and friends there. Like, obviously, I knew that I wanted my parents there, and they were really fortunate to be there the entire time. But as time was going on leading to the games. Like so many other like family friends or just like high school friends were popping up like, hey, I'm going to Paris. Like last second. It was funny. I think I counted, which is I think rare for most people, at least like 8 people from my high school came to Paris.
Wow, that's so cool.
That was wild from high school.
Right. I know. I have a very like close knit group of high school friends. So for me, it wasn't unusual, but I realized talking to other people, they're like, that is wild. But that, and then just like old club coaches, my college coach, Jared, and his wife were there, and other like people in the volleyball community were there. So I underestimated like how special that would feel, just knowing that so many people just want to come support us. And obviously the Olympics are a giant spectacle, so they got to see other things. But yeah, I mean that, and then also just having like a little bit of free time to be with like my parents and my people, and then also kind of invite like family and friends who have never seen me play in an international level a little bit into my world, so they got to see the full scope of things. So it was really humbling. It was cool not only to have that moment for myself, but to get to invite my people into it. And then on top of that, Paris sells itself. Like I feel like they really didn't have to do much. Like it is just one of my favorite European cities, an incredible city. Everything set up in the city was just like, you could tell was supposed to like support the Olympics. So much like signage and stuff like that, and like TV screens everywhere, though there probably aren't naturally TV screens. Just making sure that like people had access to watch the games was really cool. And then everywhere you went, just people were so excited to talk to you and to tell you that they watched your game. So it was a unique experience that I'm really, really grateful that I got the chance to experience this, because I thought Tokyo was really cool, but obviously I had nothing to compare it to. But this blows that out of the water.
Yeah, I was shocked with, I'd never been to Paris before, but I'd kind of written it off as just like another city, another big city, you know.
Right.
But I was shocked with just how beautiful it was there. The architecture is incredible. The food's incredible. The people were super nice too. And like you said, like walking by every cafe and bar, they had TVs on with the Olympics on. And it was usually like some French team that was playing, but you know, the whole local French crowd was in there and it was packed, and it was just cool to see that environment around the games. Cause like you said, didn't get that in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you talked about, or you asked me about like a really cool memory. I went to lunch with one of like my family friends who happened to be in town, and we went to lunch near the Louvre. And so we walked through that whole courtyard. If you've been there, it's
massive
one.
I didn't realize it was that big.
I've been, and I forgot what it was.
I wasn't prepared to walk that much in the heat.
That's another thing. I got my steps in for sure. There were rings set up there, and people were taking pictures, and there was a sunset, and I was just like, I can't believe this is my life right now. Like, this is so cool. I'm near the Louvre, but I'm here for the Olympics. Like, this is insane. So,
and the flame is right there at the Louvre too. The Olympic flame they had lit there the whole time.
Yeah. So I saw that. I didn't even know that going there. So I saw.
I didn't either, but I saw like a group of people like taking pictures and stuff, and I was like, "What is everyone looking at?"
Right.
That's awesome.
Do you have any, or if there's a specific maybe point in a match or specific opponent that kind of stuck out from this games compared to what you experienced in Tokyo?
Ooh. I mean, I would say two. One specifically that comes to mind was playing France in France. I'm sure every athlete who got the chance to play a French team or opponent in France could probably say the same thing. But up until that point, I was really surprised how many people were there for USA. I thought it would just be like a hodgepodge of different people from different walks of life, so many different countries just coming together just to watch sports. But it felt like a USA home game every game up until obviously that game. And I just remember looking up, I think during set 2, and they were chanting like, I'm not going to say it because I don't speak French, but basically like, let's go France. In French, it was probably like Viva la France or something. But I just remember thinking like, even though they were cheering against us, I was like, this is so cool. Like, this is insane. At least 11,000 people are here watching volleyball on the biggest stage. And I thought about the girls in that moment. I'm like, how cool it is for you. Like, you are hosting an Olympics. All of your family and friends probably are here, and you're playing like a really cool match. Like I don't know. I just felt really just like emotional in that moment. I don't think I cried, but I had the feeling of wanting to cry just because I couldn't believe that I was sitting in that place playing in such a really cool gym environment against a home team that brought out everybody for that match. So that's probably honestly my best like playing memory, just like having that moment of like, this is wow, I never thought it would be like this, but I'm really glad that I'm here.
It's almost like a little taste of what LA could be like with just the home USA fans. I'm so excited just to see what that arena is going to look like with the hometown USA crowd in there.
Right, I know. I thought about that too. I'm like, what a cool opportunity. And I mean, it's really rare in athletes' lives, I think, to experience something like that. So we're hosting too, but I thought about how cool it must have been for the French players too.
Yeah, definitely. What about just the like whole celebrity aspect of the Olympics too? I know you guys ran into Snoop Dogg like coming off the bus at the training center. Even like analysts too. Like you had a really cool interview with Maria Taylor as well. But just kind of talk a little bit about that, what that was like.
Yeah, we did. Which shout out to Jordan Thompson, JT, because she spotted him first and immediately like barely stopped. So we all got that moment. That was cool. We invited him to, I think, every single game publicly, and he did not attend, to our knowledge. So there's a little bit of beef with Snoop there, but he had...
Come on, Snoop.
Right. I'm like, we was at Equestrian, which really cool. But I would like Snoop. I think the volleyball game. But he had a very packed schedule, so there's a little bit of grace there. But Maria Taylor got to hang out with us at a practice at our training facility, which was amazing. And I'm sure full circle for her too, because she started off covering volleyball. That's how I met her, I think, my freshman year of college. So it was really cool for both of us to reunite in this way. Steph Curry came to one of our games, and I thought that was really, really cool because he definitely did not have to, but he's a big fan of volleyball. Did not know that so many
his daughter plays, right?
Yeah, he said his daughter plays. I think his sister, I think his mom, he mentioned. So that was really cool getting to, just like get to talk to him about their games too and wish him luck, and him just say that he's cheering us on. He enjoys watching us. So awesome. I'm trying to think of any more, but for the most part, it was just really cool being surrounded by so many cool athletes. I can't think of any like off the top of my head, but just knowing that I was in the same space every morning with them was really cool for me.
Well, going into the media tour of the whole post-Olympic experience, I'm looking at the list here. What didn't you guys do? What did you guys hit? But yeah, the New York Stock Exchange, the Day Show. I know you went to the U.S. Open too, but I guess talk about that whole experience, maybe starting with New York.
Yeah, so I remember the opportunity was presented to us, which thankful for USA Volleyball and League One for setting that all up, but it was literally straight off the plane. Straight off the plane going to New York Stock Exchange. So that was like a whirlwind in itself. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't really know the significance of the New York Stock Exchange going into it. I'm not a finance girl, but I remember thinking there was an option not to go and you could rest before the other stuff later that day. And I remember talking to my dad and I was like, I think I might just go back to the hotel. I'm so tired. He was like, what? You get to ring the bell? Are you crazy? But both my parents, they met in New York. So.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
So they were like, you get to ring the bell and close the market for the day. Do you know how big deal this is? Like, so they were basically just on me. I was like, okay, fine. I'll go. And I'm so glad I did, honestly. That was such a cool experience, just getting to learn about the history of how essentially the economy started in this country and how the market started in this country, and just like meeting all the people there too. They were so excited to have us, and we're so like gracious and incredible hosts. They fed us. We got a whole tour of the building. They had a historian come basically and give us like a private tour, and she knew her stuff. We asked her every question under the sun, and she could answer it off bat, off rip. So, I mean, I don't know when else I would go or ever have that opportunity. So I'm really, really grateful that I did. And then obviously going to the Today Show was also iconic. And getting to meet the host and just be there and just be in that building too, and go to the top of Rockefeller. Like I'm like kind of blanking on everything because the whole day just felt like a dream. And we're also like running off of like 4 hours of sleep, and somehow like we're having the best time. It was all fueled by coffee, I'm sure. But yeah, it was a really cool thing. Also, we didn't get this moment obviously in Tokyo to have any sort of like media run or even any like recognition outside of, I'm sure, some people's towns did something. So it was cool to feel like celebrated for something that is incredibly hard, and also to meet so many other athletes through this press tour who were there for the same reason, and congratulate them and have that moment. But I was really grateful also, just again, so many people were thanking us, which felt so weird. Like, because I'm like, I feel like we didn't do anything, but so many people were just thanking us for us being there and representing. So that felt really good too.
I know like a lot's happened in there. You mentioned, and it was like kind of a lot to process, but do you have like maybe a standout moment that like you really just kind of took away from that? Not even one of the bigger ones, but just like this one was something you all ever forget from that?
Ooh.
Her parents yelling at her to go.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think in that moment, honestly, it was like a reminder. And obviously, like, we do this for like ourselves, our teammates, our country, but it is a reminder that like there's so many other people who like are inspired by what we do. So like if we can just take however long out of our day to like accept an invitation to something or speak to someone or have that, connection with someone, like I think that's bigger than sports. But I mean, we got something cool out of it. So it was really cool. But I just realizing like all the people who work there every day who were just so excited to like talk to us about volleyball was not something I expected. But again, I'm really, really grateful that I said yes. I don't think I really had a choice because my parents were judging me for sure. But I'm glad I said yes.
And then you got to hang out with the Dallas Wings too. You went to the U.S. Open. I'm sure I'm missing some stuff too, but yeah, like such a cool. Have you even gotten any sleep yet? Like,
right. I'm just now. I think I was on a plane every week from August 12th when we ended.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
I want to say last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. But U.S. Open. First of all, New York is like my favorite city, I think, in the States. So just being there in general, I'm always just having fun. I don't even have to be doing anything, but yeah, I got invited to go to the U.S. Open, also with League One. Got to watch some games with them, and then got to watch some games with Ralph Lauren, which was really cool. It felt cool to watch other athletes perform and like not have to perform. Like I was like, I actually just get to be a fan.
Get to be a fan, yeah.
And it was so much fun, and I didn't realize how I'd been to the U.S. Open before, but I guess just with it being the year of sports, there was just so many people, and it was loud and super engaging. So that was fun. I also officially learned all of the rules of tennis, so nice. I really felt like I could be engaged in these matches and know what was going on.
I'm still figuring it out too.
Yeah. Right. I thought it was way more complicated than it was. So I'm mad at myself. I'm like, I should have been into tennis years ago. But yeah, I'm a big tennis fan now. So I'm really glad that I got that opportunity.
I think this might be a good time to switch gears a little bit, just to talk about, you being home and meeting so many fans, talking about the game of volleyball, talking about, League One specifically. We got a, brand new pro league coming up right here in the United States. I mean, obviously a lot of the women's national team athletes are a part of that. And, you're a part of that, specifically going into the team that is in Austin. So you want to talk a little bit about how, that progress has been going and how it feels not to have to go overseas for a season too?
Right. I mean, this year I think has set itself up just to be what it is in terms of like another league coming to the States. Like, I think that was the whole intention, obviously, going into this year, because Tokyo, like I said, after Tokyo, there was kind of no media or anything else, any like momentum surrounding it. So it felt weird just going overseas after winning a gold medal, and there was nothing that really like came of it. So it's really cool that we kind of get to build off of the momentum of the games. Each Olympic Games, there's more and more volleyball fans that appear who obviously like are gravitated towards the sport because of the Olympics, but then there's nothing else to like follow after that. So it's been really exciting to just kind of like connect with the volleyball community that's always been there, but then also like new people who have now have this newfound love and respect for the sport. And then it just, I felt like for me, it was very telling that I had to do this with one of the cities being in Austin. I love Austin. Obviously, I went to school at Texas. And for me, I felt like Texas really championed and supported Texas volleyball. So I can't wait to see how the city shows up for Austin. But it's time. It's been time. It's time to like finally have another option for players to be able to like stay home and still obviously like work and play versus going overseas. Because if I had to go overseas, I would be having this call from somewhere in Europe versus in my parents' house in Dallas. So it's been really just, it's been nice being home. It's kind of weird. This is the longest I've ever had an off season, I think, in my life or in my playing career. And then also I think for sure it's going to be weird, like having a season in the States, having winter in the States. It's such a foreign concept right now. So I don't even know how to prepare for that. But I can't wait to get started. I'm excited to get reunited with people I haven't played with in so many years. And then also just to see my USA teammates, like you said, it's going to be cool and weird, I'm sure, being on the opposite side of the net as some of them, but it'll be like a mini reunion for each game, which I don't know how many leagues, especially overseas, you can say that. You might play a team where you don't know anybody, but that's not going to be the case here. Every single team we play, like we will all have friends on that team, which is really cool.
Yeah, we're really excited for the pro leagues to pop up, and like you said, especially right at the tail end of the Olympic year too, Olympic and Paralympics coming up or just finishing. And just before this call, we were talking about just our numbers for our events that are coming up. Our qualifiers are just spiking like in numbers with just new clubs and new, or clubs having new teams and stuff. Clarence could talk all about that. But we're seeing record numbers right now. So we're seeing that wave of momentum for sure after the Olympics and, Tokyo COVID, that kind of killed a lot of that momentum, unfortunately, for that. But, it's exciting to see that in 3 pro leagues too, in the U.S. and just all the opportunities for U.S. athletes to stay home and to grow the sport here stateside too. It's just awesome. So cool to see. And I love that you're in Austin too. And several former Longhorns too, I believe are on that Austin team. So that's going to be really cool for the city to get that.
Yeah, I think I saw an interview Asia and Logan Eggleston did. I think I counted 8 out of the 14 girls.
Wow. I didn't know it was that much. Okay.
Our Texas alum, which, it's basically
over half the team.
Volleyball 2.0, but it'll be fun. It'll be really fun.
Where do you know where matches are being played? Is it in, I forget the name of the arena. Is it Darrell K. Royal? Or what's the arena? Royal.
That seats like 100,000. I mean, I would hope volleyball would eventually get to that point. We saw it with
Nebraska, yeah.
B2.
Oh, yeah, the football arena, yeah. I was trying to remember the name of the volleyball.
The volleyball, Gregory,
yep.
Yeah, no, that would be a dream. And maybe in the future, I don't think it was cleared for this upcoming season, but we'll be playing at the HEB Center in Cedar Park, which is
cool. Awesome.
But I've heard I've never been. I've heard great things about the arena in terms of size. But hopefully my wish and hope is we could eventually get to Gregory.
I just think that would be so cool for those Longhorn fans too.
For sure.
I just know how rowdy it gets in there too.
Yeah, it is a hard place to play in if you're not the home team.
That's right. Yeah.
Like I could just listen to you guys talk about Austin for the rest of this interview.
I miss it. I wanted to live there after college. I think we've talked. I went to Texas State just down in San Marcos, but I wanted to stay in Austin. I just couldn't find a job there at the time. But
it's
I love it.
It's always there. It's a nice city too. You can just like dip in.
Yeah. I took my wife there a couple of years ago, and it was her first time there, and we did the whole thing. We saw the bats.
Yeah.
We went down to the river in San Marcos. Yeah, we did it all. We did it. We did Rainy Street. You know, all the staples.
Yeah, all the streets, all the places. Yeah, it has something for everyone. That's what I tell people. Like whatever you're into, Austin has.
Great music city, great outdoors too. Yeah, it has everything.
For sure.
What are you most excited about? I mean, aside from volleyball, what are you most excited about returning to Austin for? And is there like any food? Yeah, I was going to say, is there food?
I'm a big foodie. In Austin, in my opinion, has the best food in Texas. Just like a wide range.
Bold statement.
I feel like they take it.
I agree with that.
Seriously, too. Like there's so many, I don't know, like really cool like culinary experiences there. So that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to try all the places. I already have some places saved on Instagram. Every time I see something, I have a whole folder that has like Austin Eats. So I'm excited to start that list for sure.
Taking notes as we speak. I've never been to Austin yet, so definitely on my list of places to go to one day. But yeah, taking notes here.
Once we start playing, come down for sure.
Absolutely. I'm going to try to come out to them. Okay. All right. Notes being taken as we speak for sure. Austin's definitely one of the venues I want to see, and also one of the cities too. I mean, we go to Dallas a ton for nationals as it is too. Might as well just take a pit stop,
right?
Take a little vacation while we're in that.
Speaking of Dallas, just what was it like? I'm assuming you returned home to Dallas. What was that like? Oh yeah, you went to the Wings games too. What was that homecoming like for you? I guess returning after the Olympics.
Ooh, I mean, it was great. I got to see other family and friends who obviously couldn't make it to Paris, and then it's honestly been really cool how many like sports teams or brands or companies in Dallas are really trying to celebrate all the Olympians that are from here. I feel like in general, Dallas takes sports very seriously at every level, honestly. So I felt really special, honestly, coming home. And I'm really grateful for all of the people who did reach out, who I might not have gotten a chance to connect with, but just really wanted to basically say that they were proud of me and to thank me. But I was so surprised too with like how many people reached out. But I mean, I forget how many people watched the Olympics, but I feel like Dallas in general really showed their support through and through. My city had another like town hall hearing where they gave me another day, which they did last time we came back from Tokyo. So that was cool too. Got to meet the new mayor of Capel. But it's been again a really humbling experience, just knowing so many people are so proud of you.
Mm-hmm. That's incredible. Have you had a chance to spend some time with maybe some of your old teammates over at Texas or any of those influential people out there?
Yeah. So I'm lucky. A lot of Texas girls are from Dallas, like Asia, Logan, Capel, Catcoy. So I've gotten to see a little bit of them. Texas plays OU in football this weekend, and if you know anything about that, it's such a big weekend, and it's in Dallas.
Red River rivalry.
Exactly. So I'll get to see a bunch of like old teammates this weekend in my city, which is really fun. Again, just stuff like that I probably wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to do had I gone overseas. Like, it's just nice to get to experience just like living at home and all that it comes with. And then also getting to see my people more than like one time a year.
Speaking of Texas OU and just continuing our conversation about food, have you been to the State Fair yet this year?
Oh yeah. I was there 2 days ago.
Nice. I haven't been in years. What's it like now?
I don't think it's ever changed.
Is it still the same? I love that.
It was like in elementary school, and it's definitely still the same. I will say I feel like it's got more expensive. We were joking that things were costing a lot more. It must be inflation. But the food is still there. It's still fried. It's still terrible, but it tastes amazing as always. My staple is the turkey leg. I can't go to the State Fair without getting a turkey leg. And I feel like they've gotten bigger somehow. But But it's a time. And I think this weekend also will be really cool, obviously having like the game and then the state fair going on at the same time. It's a little hectic, but it's super fun.
Are you going to the game?
I'm not going to the game. I will go watch the game, but there's so many things leading up to that. They have a bunch of like Dallas, Texas X's mixers and things like that.
Oh, cool. Fun.
You have any kind of personal time planned outside of all these, one-off events and all these recognitions happening too?
Right. Great question. I feel like it's now. So I'm sure like most of my teammates, we saw this time off and our eyes like grew 10 times bigger. And so I planned most of like my either appearances or visiting people or fun time going to the US Open all within like a month after the Olympics. So like I said, I was on a plane almost every week, traveling almost every 4 or 5 days. So I'm beat right now. So I've just been like now chilling out, spending time at home, trying to learn how to golf. One of my high school teammates I'm really close with is trying to teach me, but I'm not very good. But trying to find hobbies and just also pack for the big move down to Austin. So I think I did it well. I packed a lot of stuff in the first half, so now I'm just like,
oh, nice.
Out.
I always say I'm going to pack before, and it's always the night before.
I'm sure I'll be packing the morning. Yeah. Lots of stuff you accumulate over X amount of years living overseas, so it's been.
And I'm sure all your stuff is just scattered everywhere.
Too. Oh yeah, because it's been in like different countries, states, so it's a lot of purging, which is good, needed, much needed.
I need to do that bad. Switching gears here a little bit, and I guess kind of staying on topic, talking about Dallas, but something we like to ask all of our guests is, how were you introduced to the sport of volleyball? And I know you played for Texas Advantage, TAB down there in Dallas, but yeah, I guess, talk about how you were introduced to the game of volleyball.
Yeah, I always credit my middle school coaches at the time, Coach Pope and Coach Chastain. And maybe before that, I honestly just started playing volleyball because most of my friends were doing it and I didn't want to be left out. And so when they were trying out for the middle school teams, I just wanted another opportunity to hang out with my friends more. So I tried it and had no business doing so because I had zero knowledge or background in volleyball. But my coaches saw something in me and put me on the C team. To this day, they still apologize, even though I'm like, I didn't near A team or anything involving volleyball. So I'm grateful for them. And then after my 8th grade year, they really encouraged, almost threatened me to do club volleyball. So again, I think I owe a lot to them. They saw something in me and would not rest until I at least attempted to pursue this. And then I found TAV through them and stayed with them my entire high school career, and the rest was history.
I know it seems like a lot of peer pressure too, but when did you kind of feel like or figure out that you kind of started to get a knack for volleyball and really started to get like hooked on the game? Was it when you got to TAV? Was it a little bit before that?
Oh yeah, I think it was my first year of club 14s at TAB. It almost felt as professional as it could for youth sports. So I was just drawn to like how organized and professional and everything was. Also the travel part of it, that was really fun for me, like getting to travel for volleyball and go stay in these hotels and play in these convention centers. Like now when you think about that, it doesn't sound as exciting being in a convention center all day, but as a 14-year-old, the only place I wanted to be on a Saturday, Sunday. And then just also like getting to meet new people. Like you were used to playing with the same girls in like your middle school and your high school, but getting to meet other girls from like surrounding high schools and build those friendships is kind of what hooked me to the game. Really just the people and just how official everything felt.
I feel like Clarence and I's souls just left our body for a little bit thinking about being in convention centers all day.
Like I feel like I still hear the whistles. Like
they don't go away. It doesn't go away.
Stays with you. Also, like day 2 of the tournament, you're dreaming about volleyball every day.
Yeah,
it's just
It is really cool to be around though. Like just seeing all that, just seeing that scope of just so many volleyball courts, so many volleyball players, just all in one place. It is cool. But yeah, the whistles don't leave you.
Every time,
yeah, that too.
Like
That too.
reunion, you get to see your other volleyball friends from out of town or across the city. So,
can you remember your maybe most memorable or favorite qualifier that you ever competed in?
Oh, I was just talking about this the other day with one of my high school teammates. We loved the Colorado Crossroads. Just being in Denver was just always really cool, and it was around March. It was just fun to travel. Anytime we got to get on a plane and go somewhere, I was really excited because it felt like a vacation a little bit, even though like you don't see much outside of the convention center and the restaurants leading to the convention center. But that was always a really cool one. And then Lone Star too. I think our 18th year we would stay. Lone Stars in Dallas at the Omni, and that was always really fun. They had like fresh baked cookies every day. I just remember like thinking about the cookies and just hanging out over there and just being like downtown Dallas as like a 16, 17, 18-year-old, which is always cool because otherwise you really don't go down there that much. So for sure those two.
Really quick, I want to go back to what you said about making your C team and your coaches kicking themselves for that. I feel like that's up there with Michael Jordan getting cut from the team or something. Like we have to have that written down somewhere.
I know. Oh my gosh, they will really cry. This is on record somewhere.
My God, imagine if they would cut you.
Like, every time they've seen me since, and I'll see them not as much now, but if I was home for college, like literally at a grocery store, or like if I went back to say hi to the volleyball team, they just are like sheepishly like so sorry, and I laugh at them. I'm like, I shouldn't have been anywhere near a volleyball court, honestly. So I was just happy to be there hanging out with my friends, honestly. But
that's a testament to those coaches though for seeing something in you and sticking with you.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I had no idea what I was shocked I even made it because of how tragic I remember the tryouts were. But I was just, again, at that point, being 12, 13, I was just happy to hang out with my friends. And I didn't
pretty tall?
See where it would take me. Sorry?
Were you pretty tall?
Yeah, and I genuinely think that's why I made it. Like, there's not any tall girls here. You're like, so come on over.
Here we go.
What was it? We talked a little bit about TAB, but what was it like playing for, I mean, it's such a huge club. It's a massive club, such a prestigious club too, there in Dallas. I mean, we see them at nationals every year. They're up there and, you know, the gold medal matches every year. But what was it like just growing up in that program?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I think that's honestly what helped me with my work ethic today. I just grew up being surrounded by so many like young athletes who knew that they were at one of the best clubs, so they had to show up like it. Also, it was really cool that we got to watch like the older girls play right next to us and kind of observe them and how they work and how seriously they took it. So it was really just honestly being surrounded by greatness all the time, like kind of made you level up to the challenge. And I thought what was really special, TAB used to do, and I'm sure they still do it, college coaches camp, where the colleges will come down and kind of like host a camp for the weekend. And at the end of the camp, they would have a tournament where they would mix the teams. So 14s, 15s, 16s, 17s, 18s, they would all be kind of playing with each other. And that was always really intimidating, but just getting to like play with the older girls and then hear that they're going to this university to play or this college to play kind of sparked that interest in me, because I used to think that they were the coolest girls. I still know some of them, which is funny. We still live in Dallas, but used to think that they were the coolest girls ever. And just to hear that they were taking this to the next level just planted that seed in my head of like, okay, well, if they're doing this, like maybe I can too.
Just going to ask you before we even get to the whole, your introduction to the national team. When did you really start to figure out, I think you touched on it a little bit right there, but when did you really start to figure out that you can, potentially, go to the next level and even make a career out of this?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever, to be honest, thought I could make a career out of this. Even in my senior year, I would hear people kind of mention that to me or plant seeds a little bit, like, hey, Jarrett, including Jarrett, Paul Sunderland, like other announcers who would be like, hey, you could play, overseas doing this, you could probably join the national team. I just feel like at that time, there wasn't a lot of information about pro volleyball, which is why it's really important and so special that pro volleyball is coming to the States so that there's an actual visibility chain of that. But I say back then, I knew nothing about pro volleyball. It's not really that long ago. I'm trying not to age myself, but I knew nothing about pro volleyball and what that entailed. So it was never honestly a dream of mine just because I didn't know that it existed. I think it was really just my senior year of so many different like coaches, Jarrett, announcers, like I said, telling me, hey, you really could do this professionally this year. Like this could happen for you really soon. And then taking the steps to learn more about that, asking girls who I knew were overseas or who had played overseas, kind of their opinion and their experiences. But after that, I think I was always open to the idea, but it wasn't until my first season where I figured that I could actually do this for as long as the game will allow me.
Is talking about you mentioned the pro leagues again and just how important that is just to see that visual, the visual timeline or progression of club, college, professional, and how important that is for younger athletes here in the States to see that. I guess, do you have any advice for young athletes who are trying to make that next step, whether it's D1 or D3 or playing in college, just in general, and then even like going pro too? Any advice for young athletes who want to pursue that?
Yeah. I guess what a lot of people told me and something that I really tried to seek out was just like knowledge. I think knowledge in general is power. So the more you know, the more you're hopefully able to achieve. I think now there's so many athletes right now who do a really good job, like on social media. I think like really taking you through the experience of a pro athlete or of a college athlete. So genuinely, for all of the younger girls out there, follow them, ask them questions. A lot of them, I'm trying to be better, are really good at answering questions on DMs and other messaging services. So just reach out to them, ask any questions that you have, but then also your club coaches, club directors have a lot of resources too, and know a lot of people who also could like connect you to where you need to go. So just really taking advantage of all the resources that are already around you. And then if you feel like you need more, then reaching out to the players who are in those positions or who have been in those positions.
And then I guess kind of on the same scope there, in September, we had a Try Volleyball program, a new initiative with USA Volleyball to get young kids into volleyball and to try the sport for free. So a lot of clubs across the country, regions across the country, hosted clinics, including North Texas there in your region. But for you, why should kids want to try volleyball?
Ooh.
To hang out with their friends, duh.
Right.
Yeah.
Another opportunity to hang out with your friends, but also it's the only sport that gives a lot of people opportunities to touch the ball in a given play. I think that's really rare for sports. You can have basketball where the same person can dribble up the ball all the way down and score. Same thing with soccer. But volleyball is a rare sport in which you truly do need everyone on the court. So for me, it has taught me the biggest lessons of working with others and just being a really good teammate to someone. I think there are invaluable lessons in that. And then it's just a fun team sport to play that I think whether you continue on past high school, college, it's just a sport that will stick with you forever.
And friends for a lifetime too. Like I've gathered from our conversation here, you still run into your teammates all the time.
Right. No, friends for a lifetime for sure. And it's honestly, that's been the coolest part, is just experiencing life with all of my teammates and them becoming like sisters to me. Like I was at Justine's wedding last weekend in Dallas. I have club volleyball with, who are my best friends to this day, and just getting to like experience life with them like that, and all because of volleyball. Like that's been the coolest thing. Like volleyball is what brought us together, but some people don't even play anymore, and it's still something that connects us.
Mm-hmm. I think it's
a little plug there. Yeah, congratulations to Justine and
Andrew. Shout out to Justine and Andrew. Yeah. Also met him through volleyball, so you never know. You might meet your person through volleyball too.
I was gonna say it's a kind of a good part to segue into your introduction to the national team. I mean, you talk about how close you are to a lot of your teammates and how a lot of those bonds really just go off the court. You're, invited to each other's weddings and like really sharing those significant portions of life together off the court too. So, I mean, just talk about how that all started, and maybe there's some funny stories that come out of that from then going into now what that looks like. But yeah.
Yeah. So my journey with the national team started with an email. I was playing my first professional season in Florence, Italy, which was a godsend that I was there, because had I experienced anything else, I don't know if I would have continued with it, but it was an incredible first experience playing. I was really lucky too that one of my teammates, Dali Santana, obviously from the States, grew up, went to Minnesota. So she was there to help me kind of with that transition. But once I was there and I started playing, Karch reached out, invited me to train with the team that summer. And normally when you're invited to train with the team that summer, you don't know how long you're going to be there for. You could be there anywhere from a week to the entire summer, which can last 4 to 5 months. So he kind of presented that opportunity. Of course, I jumped at it. And I ended up staying with the team and training with the A team and preparing for Pan Ams that summer. And I was there for at least 4 to 5 months, and kind of the same thing happened the next year and the next year leading up to the Tokyo Olympics. But yeah, I mean, I'm really grateful that so many people pushed me to play that first season overseas, that first half season, because I was for sure intimidated by that opportunity and I had no idea again what to expect. But all of that led me to now going to 2 Olympics. So I'm really grateful. Oh, I think you're mute.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Back. Was there anyone from that first year with the national team that you kind of look back and credit for, I guess, the longevity of your national team career? I know at Media Day, we talked a little bit about Faluka Conrado Gunderson. But yeah, any coaches or athletes, teammates that you kind of credit and look back on just the experience with them, and maybe any lessons that you keep with you today?
Ooh, I would credit for sure Justine Wongerantes, now FAM, for me having, I think, such a really fun experience in the national team gym the first year. I just remember even the first weekend I was there, her inviting me to spend time with her and her friends and her family. She's from California and from Long Beach, so she already obviously had roots there, where most of us who come to train there don't know anyone besides the other girls in the gym. But I think getting to talk to her and then getting to meet her volleyball community, there's so many people that love her and support us through her, was really special. And I really credit her again for that being an incredible summer. And then obviously we were able to stay really close throughout the years together. And I love playing with her and I love competing with her and just being a friend to her. And I know she's been an incredible friend to me. But again, I don't know how long this journey would have lasted for me, had I not had someone in my corner from literally day one, weekend one, just kind of celebrating me and, giving me my props.
Well, we got a few minutes left before we need to let you go, but you've over the summer you've done tons of media tours and stuff, but you've also done some modeling too. And I think this was even before Paris. You did Ralph Lauren, a whole Ralph Lauren campaign too. And I feel like I saw your face just everywhere in Paris. Right. It was so cool. It was awesome.
I know. I kept telling people, I'm sure y'all are tired of seeing me.
But sorry.
I told myself going into this summer, I want the full experience of this Olympics, whatever that entails. And was something that we didn't get to experience as much going into Tokyo due to like all the COVID restrictions, was anything like sponsorship related or any media, just because the rules were a lot tighter. But yeah, I mean, I am extremely grateful. I will never stop singing their praises, but Ralph Lauren was one of my sponsors for the Olympics, and they took amazing care of me. And through working with them, I got to experience my first fashion show, which I'm on my bucket list checked, and it was an incredible one. And then obviously like they invited me to the US Open, and then also just like them being an official Team USA sponsor, they were there throughout the games and came to all of our games. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool thing that comes with going to the Olympics. And you said modeling. I'm like, is it even modeling? I don't consider it modeling at all. I was just showing up, taking pictures. But it's definitely not something I'm comfortable with, but I'm just really grateful to people that I did work with. They knew that, and they just did everything that they could to make me feel comfortable and supported, not only before the games, but during the games too. So again, really grateful for the sponsors who really supported me throughout these games.
You have any future gigs or projects coming up that we should know about?
Ooh, I don't think I can say them.
Ooh, awesome.
Okay. You guys, I think, well, not just me, but a lot of the girls, especially doing League One,
right,
they have a lot of really cool stuff lined up that I am very excited for. So again, I don't think I'm allowed to say anything, but it's coming up. So
redacted.
Yeah, right. I get sent a cease and desist letter.
Well, let's make League One happy again here. Before we let you go, something for all the Texas fans. How should get them excited to watch League One, to watch your Austin team? What should they get excited about? Or why should they be so excited to watch you guys play?
Ooh, I mean, I think it's the perfect time to have a season because the college season has just ended, and I know everybody will want their fix of volleyball. So as soon as Texas goes for their three-peat, now.
Heard it here first.
Right. You'll have your little holiday break, and then it's right back to supporting women's volleyball in January. So I think it'll just be the perfect timing for the Texas volleyball fans. And I know that they're going to show up. I know there's probably going to be burnt orange, which we appreciate and we accept. Our team colors are purple, so if you want to throw in a little purple there too, that would be great. But I'm excited too to just reunite with some of the Texas fans. They are, in my opinion, the greatest fans in the country. And so many of them too supported me through the Olympics. The amount of burnt orange t-shirts I saw in the stands just casually. So Texas fans go far and wide for their girls, and I'm just excited for the other girls on the team too to experience that come January.
I know Texas fans are like, oh, we can cheer them on all year round now.
Right.
You can wear a burnt orange all year round now.
Where you left off.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, Chiaka, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us. Is there anything we left on the table that you'd like to talk about or share before we let you go here?
No, I think we covered it. Just, excited for everyone to see what League One is doing. I'm excited to be a part of it, and I can't wait to just continue this momentum of so many people falling in love with volleyball, and I hope that we all get to continue to grow the game.
Where can everyone follow you on social media?
You can follow me at Chiaka11 on Instagram. I don't really get on Twitter as much, but it's Chiaka Ogbogu. And then I'm trying so hard to be Kelsey Robinson Cook on TikTok. It's just not my screen. But I'm on there. And I think I'm Chiaka Ogbogu_. But or follow Kelsey, honestly. And then you'll find me because I'm in most of her TikToks and I just bandwagon on her stuff.
We're all trying to be at Kelsey level on TikTok for sure. That's the level we all strive for.
Yeah, I got some time before that. She's way above me.
I love that. Well, Chi, thank you so much. This has been an awesome conversation and excited to watch you play here soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye. Awesome conversation with Chiaka there. glad that she's finally getting some time to sit down in her house and in her own home and just kind of reflect on all the experiences that she's had. Paris, from Paris to post Paris celebrations to traveling the world to going to all these events. Such an awesome experience that she gets to have, and congratulations to Chiaka again for and the U.S. women's national team for getting that silver medal in Paris. But hopefully she can find some time to just get a little R&R here before she kicks things off with League One. Some exciting things right there for the sport. I can't believe that we're already, here on the season with Love. That's you're beginning early next year.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. I almost self-corrected you. Said, "What you mean RMR?" But I'm just so intertwined with our USA volleyball regions that I'm thinking of Rocky Mountain region. So total side note, shout them out. But that's just almost wait, yeah. Anyways,
love that.
I definitely agree with that too, and I think it's good when you kind of see our guests or athletes just able to really just kind of reflect on the time off that they have and the time to themselves that they have. And I'm so excited to see, what that awesome team's got. So many Texas alums, so many high caliber athletes. I didn't even notice that. I would have put on my League One Salt Lake shirt. I
was kicking myself in our interview. It hit me as we were talking about League One. I was like, because I thought about it before. I was like, I'm going to put on my Austin shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot. I forgot to do it in the interview. And I almost brought it up, and I was like, no, I'm going to remember to do it in our outro recording. So
well, you should have done a quick change. That would have been hilarious. Hold on, real quick.
1 second.
But yeah, I mean, just circling back to that, just being able to reflect and just really take some time off for literally having such a not a breakout, more of a standout performance in the middle position. I mean, that's been a blocker for a reason. And that's all of that's just kind of going over into this League One season. And I cannot wait to see how it unfolds, not only with Austin, but with all the teams there. And I'm still wanting to go to Austin and travel and just try some food out there. I mean, you guys sold me. You're like, yeah, boom, food, go here, blah, boom, blah, 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 all that stuff. So I cannot wait. I can't wait to try. I'm excited to actually plan around it and watch a match or two during the season. Just depends on obviously our event season and what travel looks like.
Yeah, for all your video lists or watchers here, my room just got really dark. Looks like I'm recording at 2 a.m. I couldn't help but laugh, but
it was funny. It was getting darker, as I was just saying, room, literally no words at all, just sound effects, and it's just true.
Must be some cloud coverage out there. Get a little I don't know what's going on, but anyway, yeah, awesome conversation with Chi. I'm so excited for her and all the other national team athletes, all the other athletes competing in League One who get to stay overseas. I know we talked to Kelsey, or stay in the U.S. I know we talked to Kelsey, I think right before Paris, and she was so excited to go into an Olympic Games without having to, in the back of her mind, think about, I might get a week at home and then I got to pack my bags up again and go overseas. So yeah, really excited for the athletes who get to stay in the U.S. and got that, extended downtime to hang out with family and enjoy the win too, enjoy the silver medal. But like you said, that Texas team is going to be fun and so exciting for the city of Austin to get all those alums, all those Longhorn alums to be there for League One ATX. But I'm already hearing the Point Texas in the crowd chants going.
We should take a poll, match day, take a look in the audience, in the crowd, see how much burnt orange we see. I think that'd be funny. I know it's purple. I know we talked about it, but we'll see how much burnt orange we actually see that out there. But even with that aside, before we wrap up, just the conversation with Chiaka, I love the atmosphere conversation that was had, not only about what Tokyo was, but how that progressed into Paris, the squad, and the support that really was a visual, and obviously, Stephen, you can even attest to that too, with you being on the ground there. I almost said in Tokyo, in Paris, well, you were in Tokyo too, but you're seeing how the effect of fans and how this all just going to trickle over into just all these home and away crowds for this league coming up with League One volleyball. So I thought that was really, really cool. I think that's something that we can definitely keep an eye on city to city as these matches really take place, and do our best to support so many teams. We got a lot of teams, or a lot of national athletes across every team.
Yeah, like Chiaka said, she had a great experience in Tokyo. That was her first Olympic Games. That was my first Olympic Games to attend too, so I didn't know any different. But I did, just from watching it on TV, it was such an eerie feeling with just an empty crowd in Tokyo, the biggest stage in sports. And I could hear Karch Kirai from the rafters talking to his players. So that's how quiet it was in that gym, which is just so weird for an Olympic Games. And I knew it was going to be awesome to have all the fans back for Paris, but I didn't really know until I was in that arena, and it was so cool. Where we were sitting was up in the media seating, which was almost the back of the arena. We were probably
just that view, then was probably just
view was sweet. We were right on center court too, so right down, just bird's eye view from the top there. And it was a temporary arena that they set up in a convention center, so it was you could, every time the fans were cheering, we were swaying back and forth, which was so scary, but also kind of cool, just to feel the atmosphere a little bit too in that way. It's kind of like what do they call it at Disney World, or it's like a 4D experience.
Where you go with that?
When you go, you're on theater. You're on a ride, and they spray water. They spray water you or something.
Let's see, watch this.
Anyway, yeah. But it's just so cool. Like you said, just it's going to be really cool to see that transition to just the hype for the sport coming off an Olympic Games and bringing professional volleyball in another league form to the U.S. It's just going to be that much more exciting for fans of volleyball and new fans of volleyball too, to get to experience the highest level of our sport, just right here in the U.S. in their backyard. So, excited to see, and very, very much looking forward to it.
I can't wait to see these modeling projects come up too. That she could talk about.
She couldn't talk about it. That's right.
We're waiting.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, it was really cool to see all the Ralph Lauren advertising with Chiaka on it all over Paris. It was exciting. But I guess let's move into the outro here. Thank you again to Chiaka for taking the time to sit down with us, coming off her busy post Paris press tour, just all over the world. So exciting. And so thankful that she was able to join us and talk a little bit about that. But let's move on to upcoming events. We have the 2024 Boys Indoor NTDP Fall Training Series, October 17th through the 20th in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I will be there for that. I'm excited. Curtis and I will be on the ground for that, covering that event, as well as the 2024 Coach Observation Session that's also going.
For that one, so I maybe
sweet.
Wave a hello. It's the mental reps on the coaching game. Can never.
We'll get you on camera. We'll get you on camera.
I'll wear my podcast shirt.
There you go. That's the Coach Observation Session, Boys Indoor, October 18th through the 19th in Colorado Springs, Colorado. The 2024 Local and Zonal Combo, October 26th through the 27th at the University of South Florida in Tampa, Florida. Good luck to all those athletes and coaches, participants in those events. For more details on all upcoming events, you can find that at usavolleyball.org.
Just going to take a moment to circle back on this email. I'm just kidding, but we are going to circle back on the indoor registration side of things on the junior. Just a few reminders. 2024 Boys Final Classic registration is currently open. Tournament dates are December 13th through the 15th. The 2025 Salt Lake City 18s Showdown registration is currently open. Tournament dates are January 24th through the 26th. We're currently sitting at just under 113 teams. So numbers are climbing there. Plenty of room in the tournament. Wow. Again, we're authentic, guys. Plenty of room in the tournament. So be sure to register your teams there. Registration is also still open for the 2025 Sunshine Classic Qualifier, Weekend 1. That is now at 958 teams. Remember, February 22nd through the 24th are those Weekend 1 event dates. Weekend 2 registration for the Sunshine Classic Qualifier is also open, sitting at 974 teams.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That is stressfully awesome. Yep. That's for that one on February 20th.
That's a lot of courts. That's a lot of courts.
March 2nd. I think we're looking at 165-ish courts. So we are packing them in like sardines for this one. But I am giving the best worst 2 weekends of my life there.
Is that are we at the max for teams?
I think.
Is it closed?
We made it. I think it's still open.
All right, let's get that number up. Let's go.
Hey. Chill out. I'm just kidding. Registration is still open, and I believe there still should be room in some divisions if there's not wait list already. Again, email events@usab.org if you are interested in that. But we're not done yet. The 2025 Salt Lake City Showdown Weekend 1 registration is still open and now open. Currently sitting at 577 teams, which is record numbers for the Salt Lake City, by the way. Tournament dates for that one are April 5th through the 7th. And as of today, 10 a.m., like I mentioned before, circling back, Weekend 2 of the Salt Lake City Showdown registration is now open. In just a few hours, we are already at 465 teams. Those tournaments are April 11th through the 13th. So make sure you register for all of these tournaments before divisions fill. It is very, 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 very important that you try to beat that so you do not get on any wait lists. It's a lot of teams. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's awesome. It's stressful. It's stressful for you event folks, but it's good to see the growth of the sport.
Exactly. I was going to say it's amazingly growth for the game. Wow. Amazingly good for the growth of the game.
And the events team you guys are rock stars. They're going to figure it out.
We got it.
Yeah.
We got it. All right. Now moving on to the pro side of things. We have the 2024 Beach Pro Tour Elite 16 Brazil happening October 17th through the 20th. Also coming up, the 2024 Norseca Beach Tour Honduras, October 17th through the 21st. Be sure to check out the calendar on our website for more details at usavolleyball.org. Remember, listeners, you can rank.
Oh, wait. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off here, but I forgot to mention this at the top of our episode, but huge congratulations to April Ross for announcing her retirement. Such an awesome career that she's had. Of course, 3 Olympic medals, countless international tournament wins, at international tournaments, period, under her belt. But so excited to see, for her to kind of move on to this next chapter of her life and her career. She made a social media post and talked about pursuing other passions. So really excited to see what those passions are. Of course, anything that April Ross touches is going to turn to gold, I'm sure. So excited to see what she continues to do, and excited for her to get some time to just be a mom too, and spend some time with her family off the sand. But congratulations to her. Thank you so much, April, for all you've done for the sport. And of course, thank you for joining us on our very first episode of the podcast as well. Mm-hmm. Yep. So we'll have to bring April on sometime in the near future to kind of reflect on just her career and talk about that. But congratulations, April. Just sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Clarence, but just wanted to sneak that in there.
No, that was a good point. I know we talked about it in the beginning too. So thank you for cutting me off so we can, so you were able to, so we can get that in there too. But yeah, very, very, very much well worth it. All right. Now, circling back, listeners, remember, you can rate, review, and share this podcast and these episodes with your friends, families, and teammates, because it really, really, really helps the show grow and reach new listeners. Again, from our first episode to over 100 now. Okay, we can't do without you guys, and thank you all for the past wonderful 3 years. Remember, you can also check out our video episodes on our website and on YouTube. If there's an athlete you want us to hear about, want us to talk about, or chat with, or a topic you want to learn more about, remember, you can email us at the USAV show at usav.org. If you know of a club that should be featured, or you just want to let us know how much you're loving the show or not loving the show. You know, you could be tired of me stuttering. Who knows? But like we mentioned at the top of the show, you can also text us. So be sure to text us and say, "What is up?" AKA hello. Reminder, new episodes will drop every other week. And until then, thank you for listening to yet another episode of the USA Volleyball Show. We are the official podcast of USA Volleyball.
This has been the USA Volleyball Show with Clarence Hughes and Stephen Munson. Produced by Curtis Ward. Our content producer is Laura Fawcett. Our marketing lead is Bree J. Cox. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to rate and review. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the USA Volleyball Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.